I'm going to be going over how this YouTuber, who only had 4.12k subscribers, makes $155,000 every single month on autopilot. And all he does is use the simple traffic trifecta, which is getting traffic, generating interested leads, and converting those leads. This person is called Yusuf Lashel, and he's been printing it. And all he does is sell a growth operating program, which is a mentorship, which provides one-on-one support and other resources. So I'm just going to start off by explaining exactly how he gets traffic into the top of his funnel. So he starts off by he's got three main different platforms. He's got Instagram, he's got YouTube, and he's got Twitter. He doesn't go on TikTok, which is completely valid. The reason he doesn't go on TikTok is mostly likely because his target audience wouldn't be on TikTok anyways. His target audience is going to be people like teenagers, which are on self-improvement, sort of improving themselves, so they're not going to be on social media like that. So TikTok is probably the last place he will find them. And if he does go on TikTok, if anything, it'll probably just be too much hassle for the reward, basically. So yeah, he's not on TikTok. We see him here on Instagram. He's got 6k followers, and he's got a bunch of highlights, and he's got a very simple bio explaining exactly what he does, and then a simple CTA. And on top of the CTA, he's also got a YouTube link which goes to one of his basically hidden VSLs, which in other words, just a YouTube video or a VSL video disguised as a YouTube video, just sort of lowers the sales guard of the viewer and makes it more likely that they're going to hear him out fully, instead of watching a VSL on a sort of traditional sales page. And yeah, basically all he does is that he goes over his lifestyle and rules, and all he does is he does sort of motivational content. This is sort of all top of funnel. So this is where he's just trying to get in new leads into sort of his ecosystem. He's trying to sort of get them to his way of thinking, trying to explain to them that sort of some basic mindset shifts, sort of to just shift their beliefs into actually sort of believing that they can really make this work, basically. And he does this by flexing his lifestyle, which is very appealing to the audience that he's targeting. One thing that he does really well is that he knows his ICP very well, and I think he would have made something called an ICP document, which he's probably filled out very meticulously, and sort of just he's just appealing to that audience specifically. Because if you try to aim for everyone, you're not going to get anyone. So he's aimed for a specific sort of ICP, which is really good. Basically, his goal is, though, he goes viral by flexing the lifestyle, and then he nurtures his audience. So yeah, he goes viral, he gets the leads in, and then through that, they go from the top of the funnel to the middle funnel and the bottom of the funnel, and then that's how he nurtures his audience. The ratio he does it is sort of a bunch of top of funnel content, and then about 10% of his video the bottom funnel content. So the bottom funnel content is where he educates them, top of funnel in entertaining them, so entertain them, bring them in, and the middle funnel way he convinces them that growth operating is sort of the business model they want to get into, and the bottom of funnel is sort of showing the expertise, trying to educate them, trying to make them understand that he really knows what he's talking about, he really understands this game better than everybody else, basically. But top of funnel is where he actually convinces them that they should pick him, because the sort of ICP he's aiming for people who are similar to his age, people who would sort of relate to his story, dropping out of university and stuff like that, and because of that, people are more likely to buy from him. And then he nurtures his audience. So he does all that through YouTube, and he, like we said, he's only got 4.12k subscribers, and he's only got 46 videos, and then he's got his Twitter. His Twitter he's not really active on, but he has also got his Twitter, and people can bump into that. If he ever had a random thought, he'll just tap that out, basically. Something else which is crucial to the sort of getting traffic process is something called the 7-11-4 rule. The 7-11-4 rule is something that Google recently found out. I did a study on it. Basically, they're trying to understand what it takes for a random person to sort of become a buyer. So 7-11-4, what it stands for, 7 hours of content, 11 different contact points, and across 4 different platforms. You haven't got the 4 different platforms here, but honestly, YouTube is sort of the big driver for a bunch of different personal brands, such as Iman Ghazi, Alex Hormozi, and Yusuf Lashel himself. So yeah, he's got a different. As long as you've got YouTube, your funnel is YouTube is going to always be the main conversion system, basically. So yeah, and he's got quite a couple of videos. He doesn't post that regularly, but he doesn't really need to. He sort of he's got a business model where he's able to generate without consistently pumping out new content and being a slave to his own business. And he does this by simply just making the correct steps and doing the right things, basically, which is what I'm going to show you how to do now. Cool. And then after you get the traffic, what he wants to do now is that he wants to generate interested leads. Now, he does this through a couple of different ways. One of the ways is that he basically makes them go through his YouTube funnel, which is top of funnel content, like we said, entertains them, and then he goes to middle funnel content, which he convinces them, and then bottom funnel educates, and then they keep going around in this sort of flywheel until they eventually understand that, oh yeah, he is the man, he's the one that's going to get me to where I want to get to. He's living the life that I want to live, and he's doing something that I want to do, so let me listen to him, basically. Unfortunately, you can't just generate interested leads on just I guess, flashy watches, so you do need to convince them. So like I said, middle funnel convincing, and then educating in the bottom of the funnel, which also further convinces them because they understand, oh yeah, he actually knows what we're talking about. Something else that you need is student proof. So in his Instagram highlights, he's got students 1 and students 2. As you can see, students 2 is there. Basically, this just means his testimonials, so people can keep spamming and go through a bunch of testimonials. He's got about like 50, and obviously, the more testimonials you have, the better. To be honest, you just want to keep racking up testimonials. You can never have enough testimonials. Always ask for more testimonials. One way you can get testimonials as well is by sort of incentivizing people to give you testimonials, basically. And then obviously you have a wins group chat, which is what most creators do. They just have a Discord chat, they have a wins chat, and then everybody just slaps their wins there, motivates everybody. People are happy to flex their wins, and then Yusuf is able to sort of repeat the process of convincing different people. Cool. Then we have the case study flywheel, which is exactly what he does. Basically what he does is that he produces content, he gets the client results, and then he produces content on the client. So if we go up, he said he made 150K in 7 days. Here's how. So that's middle funnel content. And then basically case study flywheel, all he does, make content, get client results, which is his job. And then he makes more content on that client, which sort of convinces other people, because people are going to believe. And I put this, when I put it earlier, I said that people will buy from him because they were sort of in a similar position. So teenagers which want to drop out of uni are going to be in a similar position to him. So when he makes content on his sort of ideal students, people are going to see them in the ideal student. So they're going to see themselves in the ideal student and be like, oh, if he could do it, then I could do it. He was at uni, I'm at uni, he's similar age to me, blah, 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 and all of that. Oh, we had a similar, let me do the same thing as him and get into his course. So yeah, all that happens, and then once you go through the different YouTube funnel and then go through the entire YouTube funnel, where you end up at these links. Now you end up at 2 different links. So you've got the link at the top, which is his mentorship, and you've also got the link at the bottom, which is operating school. I'm going to talk about a sales page later, but for now, let's talk about his free growth operating school. So his free school is just sort of for people who aren't really ready to invest in themselves yet, just trying to get nurtured a bit more, so you're able to nurture them. Now, one other thing, which he does really well, is sort of like a competition funnel, or a competition sequence even. Basically, in this post, summarized up, all he does is that he says he's going to give away his mentorship for free, which is a bunch of different value, about 6K value, 8K value, 9K value, something like that. And then people are really invested in trying to do that. It's basically they have nothing to lose. All they've got to lose is their time, but then again, they can win by just following what he does. So he sort of promotes them to sort of join his sort of scheme, so growth operating. So he's telling them, oh yeah, this is like what you should do, and then after that he said, oh yeah, if you guys want to get a mentorship for free, just do this, blah blah blah. And basically all he does is that he says the requirements are whoever gets the most points on the 30-day leaderboard. So basically the person who engages the most with the community, the person who posts the most, the person who replies the most, blah blah blah, and all of that. Now he gets 2 different things with this. He gets people who become more and more invested in his actual business idea, and then he gets basically his community just to get active and sort of increase the amount of people that are engaging his community, which increases the sort of community aspect, which when you have a sort of a camaraderie in your group, and people end up going from the free school community and saying, oh yeah, I'm going to buy his mentorship, then you have other people looking and be like, oh okay, let me buy a mentorship. I joined the school community at a similar time to him, you know what, let me also join, since other people think it's the right thing to do. But so yeah, that's that. But one thing that he really does really well is the ICP specific document. Cool. He basically, all he does is he makes the document and he puts some basic details in it, like the age, occupation, dream, fears, current life, thoughts. So just to sort of break it down, what he would have done is that for age, he'd say something like 18 to 25. Occupation, people in uni with a part-time job. Their dream would be to escape university, drop out of uni and doing what they want to do. Fears is sort of their business not succeeding and then their family looking down on them and stuff like that. Their current life is going uni, dreading their degree, trying to find a way out, and then just their everyday, day-to-day thoughts, like they don't want to be broke, stuff like that. And then yeah, and then this is the link, the links that he has on Instagram bio. He's got 2 links. His top link is once again a hidden VSL, which is what we were talking about earlier. So it's hidden VSL. It's just a quick 20-minute video, just sort of explaining why his business model was able to generate him 69K from one client. Now this appealed in 2 ways. It said in 90 days, so he did pretty quickly. It also says a big number, which, 69K is a lot of money. People want that. And then also from one client, because basically he's also trying to convert agency people or salespeople into his way of thinking. And he's done this by saying one client. Because basically with agencies, they're sort of bloated. And because they're bloated, you have to work with a lot of clients to even get anywhere near this amount of money. And people are sort of sick and tired of that sort of business. Cool. And then after he does that, he generates interested leads using all these different types of methods. And then basically he gets to the final step of the traffic trifecta, which is converting leads. And basically all it is that he gets them onto a sales page, which is this. But before I go into that, he also gets people onto a sales page through a different other way even. And basically just post stories. He posts regular stories. With CTAs like DM me GA, and then people DM GA, and then setters sort of go into the convo and sort of set calls for them on a sort of commission based. So you have nothing to lose basically. And then yeah, they set appointments, or let's say if they can't set the appointment directly, they just sort of lead them to the sales page basically. And then with the sales page, one thing I will say, they try not to make them go to the sales page because you want the appointment to go straight away. So if you can book the appointment, if the aesthetic can book the appointment without the sales page, don't get the sales page involved because it's just more friction basically. But yeah, I'm just gonna give a little breakdown over this guy's sales page really quick, which is pretty basic structure, but it works. So that's all that matters. He said for agency owner, sales rep, and existing operator, so you've got this audience calling them out. And then the offer's got a time period, next 120 days. Risk reversal guaranteed, or will work for free until we do. So risk reversal, obviously you've got stipulations for that. So if someone does buy a program, they can't just ask for a refund straight away. They have to do certain steps. And if they do the certain steps and then not succeed, then they'll grant them the refund. But that will barely ever happen because your program still has to be good or it will never grow. And then you've got a specific outcome, which is 15K to 25K from 1 to 2 clients. Sort of explaining exactly what they're going to get out of the program. And then you have a VSO, pretty basic. Sort of trying to convince them to come to his way of thinking, convincing them why it works, convincing why the other models don't work, putting shade on other programs, and then sort of uplifting his own program by talking about stuff like, oh, we'll give you one-on-one mentoring and stuff like that. And then straight after, it's book a call. No extra buttons, so it'll be book a call. You can pick whatever time you want. Calendly just sort of gives them the sort of flexibility to do what time they want to do basically. And then he sort of says exactly what you're going to get on the transition call. They don't call it a sales call, not trying to scare off people, just trying to say, oh yeah, on the call you're just gonna benefit, and then by the end they'll do their pitch. And basically they just say exactly what you're going to get, so you set expectations so they know exactly what they're going to get out of it. And then you have a massive testimonial wall, which is just a bunch of different testimonials. And then you also have obvious frequent CTAs, like a lot of CTAs. And then it's very simple, it just says book. Cool. Then after you book, you go onto the Calendly page, which sort of asks you a couple of questions. Instagram handle, so they can reach out if they want to again. Email, they'll put you in an email sequence. What type of business do you run? This is sort of to help out the sales call go a bit more smoothly, so they know a bit more about you. More questions, and then yeah. And basically this sort of, this will rule out if you can actually join the program or not, basically. And then yeah, now for this specific funnel, your application doesn't get rejected automatically based on one of your answers. All that happens is that if they believe that, oh yeah, maybe you don't make enough money, so one of these, like I don't make any money, they'll just reach out to you and be like, oh, by the way, I made a 1.2K investment, so they don't really waste the sales calls time. So yeah, they do monthly plans as well, installments. So yeah, definitely do installments. But yeah, basically every lead is reached out to via setters if qualified. Like if they say, oh yeah, I have enough money to actually do it, the call is confirmed. If unqualified, they're shown to free resources, just sort of nurturing them more until they do actually have the money to invest in themselves, and they do that. Then the call is confirmed. And then they go through a pre-call flow, which is initial email message, then 24 hours before the call, email message, 2 hours before the call, dial just to make sure they're aware. Sort of if they pick up, that's good. Sort of tell them, oh yeah, free up your time. If they don't pick up, it's still fine because it'll pop up the missed call. And they'll understand, oh yeah, I've got something coming up. 1 hour before the call, 15 minutes before the call, email message again. Then the sales call, and then if they're not on the sales call straight away, just email message during a call. And then that's the pre-call flow just to sort of increase the shop rate. And then basically the sales call happens, no show, meaning you just keep following up with them, putting them into your email sequence, stuff like that. And then if they're not closed, you just keep nurturing them further. And then if they do close, that's 4.5k in your bank account basically. And then obviously you can also do installment plans, which I think they do 1.5k over 3 months. So yeah, installment plan just make it a bit easier to get in at a smaller price, and then sort of get them a win, and then they can pay with the win they got basically. But yeah, that is his entire funnel. That's exactly how 4.12k subscribers makes him $155,024 every single month, just using the simple traffic trifecta. Each step obviously has its own processes in it, and I explain that in the thing. And then yeah, so if you are a creator making over 10k a month and you want to scale your program to the next level basically, and sort of make an extra 25k in the next 90 days guaranteed, or you don't have to pay, then DM me on Instagram, and then I'll be happy to work something out with you. We'll just book a call together. We'll just find a time to have a little chat. Nothing too serious, no commitment needed. I'll just have a sort of look at your funnel and sort of audit it and explain what the next steps are, and then we can sort of go from there. And then yeah, but yeah, other than that, that's the end of the video. See you.